In the beautiful land of Punjab, with its wide green fields and calm rivers, there lived a young girl named Heer. She was known in her village for her beauty and kindness. Heer came from a rich and respected family where traditions were very important. In another village there was a boy named Ranjha. He loved to play his flute, and the music he made was full of feelings. But behind his cheerful face, he felt empty and restless. After leaving his home because of family problems, Ranjha wandered from place to place searching for peace. Heer and Ranjha came from different lives, but their hearts were meant to meet. In the middle of Punjab's lively culture and stunning fields, their story began, a story that would test the limits of love and fate. One day, Ranjha arrived in Heer's village, tired from his travels. He stopped near a large field to rest, where the breeze carried the sweet scent of flowers. It was here that he first saw Heer, tending to her cattle. Her presence was like the warmth of the sun after a cold night. Ranjha couldn't take his eyes off her. The sound of her laughter and the way she moved felt like something he had been waiting for all his life. Heer noticed him too. His flute rested by his side, and his tired eyes told a story that caught her attention. When their eyes met, it was as if they could feel each other's thoughts without speaking. It didn't matter that they had never met before. They felt an instant connection, like two hearts finding a missing part. As Ranjha spoke to her, his voice was gentle, and Heer found herself smiling. In that quiet moment, surrounded by the fields, a bond began to grow between them, one that would soon face challenges neither of them could have imagined. As days turned into weeks, Heer and Ranjha began to meet in secret. They would talk for hours under the shade of trees or near the calm waters of the river. Their conversations were filled with laughter, dreams, and promises. Heer loved the way Ranjha played his flute, the soft melodies speaking the words his heart couldn't. Ranjha admired Heer's kindness and her courage to love despite the risks. Their bond grew stronger with each meeting. Ranjha, once a wanderer, found peace in Heer's company, and Heer, surrounded by family expectations, found freedom in his presence. They dreamed of a life together, far from the rules that kept them apart. But love was not easy for them. Heer's family had other plans for her, and the idea of her choosing her own path was unacceptable. Gossip began to spread in the village, and her family's anger grew. They warned Heer to stay away from Ranjha, but her heart refused to listen. Despite the fear of being caught, they continued to meet, holding on to their love even when the world tried to pull them apart. For Heer and Ranjha, their love was a source of strength, a light in the darkness of the challenges they faced. But deep inside, they knew that their happiness would come at a price. Word of Heer and Ranjha's love reached her family, and their reaction was fierce. They saw their love as a disgrace to their name and a challenge to their authority. Heer's parents, unwilling to let her make her own choices, decided to take matters into their own hands. One evening they confronted Heer, demanding that she end her relationship with Ranjha. Her pleas and tears fell on deaf ears. They accused her of bringing shame to the family and warned her that she had no choice but to obey. Heer's heart broke as her own family turned against her love, forcing her to accept their will. Ranjha, too, faced the pain of losing Heer. He watched helplessly as Heer's family arranged her marriage to another man, a wealthy and powerful match that suited their pride. The day Heer was taken away to be married was the darkest moment of Ranjha's life. He felt as if his heart had been torn apart. Heer, now trapped in a loveless marriage, refused to forget Ranjha. Her smiles faded, and her days were filled with silence. Ranjha, filled with grief, left the village, unable to bear the sight of her absence. Yet, even in his pain, he vowed not to give up. For both Heer and Ranjha, their love was not something that could be erased by distance or duty. Though the world had separated them, their hearts remained connected, holding on to the hope that fate might bring them together once again. Heartbroken and lost, Ranjha wandered aimlessly for days after Heer was taken away. His pain was too heavy to bear, but his love for her kept him going. He decided he couldn't give up. He had to find a way back to heer no matter what it took. Ranjha came across a group of jogis, ascetics, during his travels. Seeing their peaceful lives and unwavering focus, he felt this was the path he needed to take. He believed that becoming a jogi would give him the strength to endure the pain and the wisdom to find heer again. Ranjha shaved his head, donned the simple robes of a jogi, and began a life of prayer and meditation. He walked from village to village, begging for food and shelter, all the while asking about heer. His flute, once a symbol of joy, now carried the sorrow of his heart, its melodies echoing his longing for her. Though the journey was filled with hardship, hunger, exhaustion, and ridicule, Ranjha never wavered. His love for heer gave him the strength to push forward, even when hope seemed far away. He believed that their love was meant to be and that fate would guide him back to her. Through his struggles, Ranjha's heart remained true. Every step he took brought him closer to the day he would see heer again, no matter how long it took or how many obstacles stood in his way. His determination became the essence of his existence, and his love for heer became his guiding light. After years of searching, Ranjha finally found heer. She was living in sorrow, trapped in a life she had never chosen. When they saw each other again, it was as if time had stopped. Their tears spoke the words their hearts had carried for so long. In that moment, the pain of separation faded, replaced by the joy of being together again. But their happiness was short-lived. When heer's family learned of their reunion, their anger knew no bounds. They saw it as a rebellion against their honor and were determined to end it. Despite the risks, heer and Ranjha decided to run away together, hoping to find a place where their love could exist without fear. However, fate had other plans. Before they could escape, heer's family caught up with them. The village elders, pressured by her family, ruled against their love. Heer's family resorted to poison, determined to separate them forever. Heer, unaware of the plan, drank the poisoned food given to her by her family. As she lay dying, Ranjha rushed to her side. Seeing her slipping away, he chose to eat the same poisoned food, unwilling to live in a world without her. In their final moments, heer and Ranjha held each other, their love shining even in the face of death. Together they left behind a world that had denied them happiness, becoming a symbol of love and sacrifice for generations to come. Their story, though tragic, remains one of the most cherished tales of love, reminding us of the power of true devotion. Heer and Ranjha's story is not just a tale of love, it is a timeless example of devotion, sacrifice, and the strength of the human heart. Despite the barriers of society, family, and tradition, their love remained unshaken. They chose each other over everything, even life itself. Their story reminds us of the beauty and pain that often walk hand in hand with true love. It teaches us that love is not just about being together, but about standing firm in the face of challenges, no matter how impossible they seem. For generations, the story of heer and Ranjha has inspired poets, writers, and dreamers. It continues to be a symbol of love that defied all odds, a love that could not be broken by time or fate. Their sacrifice serves as a powerful reminder that love, in its purest form, is eternal and unforgettable.